Good morning, everybody, and this is your Forex day trade setups for today. So starting off with Euro USD as usual, and as expected, we bounced off the top of the range and pretty much moving to the bottom of the range. So, bottom of the range at the moment is sitting at 100960. So I would expect that's kind of what we're looking at. What does look like brewing on the 8th hour though is an engulfing bar here, or engulfing pattern, and then what that would basically boil down to is another move to the upside. So what you do need to do now is just bring your diagonal in. There it is there. So if this is successful and it moves, expect another move back to the top, and then that starts looking like a reversal triangle, so a flat top triangle. So if we just drop down to the hour, that's what we're looking to pay to trade. Although for me at the moment we are very much range bound, so I'm not really interested in this right now. Oscillators group to the downside quite nicely, bouncing off a trend line. So possible that there is a short, sort of a small long here back to the top of the triangle. But the fact that we are above and below moving averages like this, and we've got a moving average crossover, there's too much uncertainty for me. So for me, the correct way to trade this is a break and retest of 102785 for this bullish pattern. Alternatively, you're looking for a break below 100960 for a continuation to the downside. So until that happens, I am sit on hands. US dollar Japanese yen. So we had a pretty strong move down starting the week, and then we had a move back up, and this is the level I gave you yesterday, which was around the 155, and that is 134.017, and you can see we've kind of reached it this morning, and it does look like a little bit of a pullback. So V reversals are rare, bear that in mind. No diversions at the moment, so that's the first big engulfing bar. So you would expect it to come back, find some support. This is the closest support, 131.553. And if you start forming a higher low there, then you've got a potential for another move up. But crossover below the 155 looking like a rejection. So depending where the 8th hour finishes, that could be a reversal pattern forming. So looking at the 1 hour, you can see fairly strong day yesterday. Fairly strong day actually. But rejecting fairly close to the 155 EMA an hour grouping of the oscillators right now. So yeah, for all intents and purposes, the trend is down. You'd obviously prefer to see it below the faster moving averages, rather than up here. So what could happen is we could just range in between the moving averages while we're waiting for some catalyst to drive us in a direction. And I have a feeling that is going to be non-farm payrolls on Friday. So I'm sitting on hands on the dollar at the moment. We wait for the data to come out. Moving on to British pound, Japanese yen. Another big down, big up day, big engulfing bar, lots of gaps, lots of tails here. Crossover of all the moving averages. Oscillators pointing to the upside at the moment. Logic just dictates that you should be waiting for a move back to this area at 163.077 before even starting to look for shorts. And you don't really want to be chasing longs at the moment. You've got a big crossover here, and well, just the crossover oscillators against you. But if you look at the 1 hour, you can see again a big bullish day yesterday, and then so oscillators grouping to the upside, which is a fairly good signal. That's when I adjust that. That's the level I want to pay attention to. We haven't got to it yet. We're in between moving averages. Everything is just indicating be very careful. So if you start getting above this and start finding support 162.897, then this gap at the top is going to be a fairly strong magnet to go and close. But for now, I'm kind of sitting on hands. There could be some support found here. So that is 161.099. So some kind of a pullback onto here to form maybe not a right shoulder, but probably the handle of a cup. But you need to get above the structure here before even looking for longs. And I don't see anything really interesting for shorts except for this area here, which is 161.100. So drop below, come back, retest, and then you get the continuation. So for now, this is poised. It could go either way, and those are the two levels you need to pay attention to. Euro British pound, nothing really been going on this week. We've been gradually just grinding lower, which is what I'm expecting to happen. But we're looking for a rejection of this area, and we'll look at this on the hour. I don't think we've had a decent rejection of that. I think it's fallen short every time. Yeah, just fallen short to that level every time. So you can see yesterday we got back up into that area. So you were looking for that is 084021. Nothing really materialized out of that. So the next level down, and it's really messy. Look at all these tails here. Any one of these tails could actually add fuel to fire. Looking at the oscillators, definitely pay attention to this. So that is 083700 or 083715. What you're looking for is a rejection between there and 083778. If you can get a rejection between those two areas, fairly decent opportunity for a short. It's a fairly big stop loss of 300 points. That's above the high of yesterday, and the only reason for that is you've got a high and then you drop below the low of yesterday. So if you look at the high and low of yesterday, you can see you pretty much came up, test the high, and then rejected it. There's a big tail here on the daily with a big red body closing below the bottom, below the previous day. So that's kind of the view that I've got there. If you reject that area, fairly decent opportunity for a move to the downside. And it is going to be messy. Just bear in mind it's been messy all of last year. So that's kind of what I would be expecting at the moment. Probably aiming for that there, which is 082830. And I just want to get this weekly diagonal in. If we need to worry about, no, that's a break, so we don't need to worry about that. So that's kind of the view that I've got here at the moment. It's well poised for a continuation today to the downside. So it just depends whether we can get up to some structure for a rejection. That's going to give us a decent entry. Anyway, that's it for me today. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.